Hi Scorpio, welcome to your mid-September reading 2019. So this is going to be for now until the end of the month whenever you see this. And if it doesn't apply to you, don't try to make the storyline fit. I feel like if you know it's for you, it will be for you. Can't possibly be for all the Scorpios. So I'm just sitting here thinking about kind of your energy. I've been doing a little bit of meditation before I turn this video on. And there's kind of a heavy reflective energy. So I feel like I'm actually drawn to the past. So it's actually bringing me to evening time when you are alone and you have some time to think. I don't know if you're in the bathtub or, I'm being brought to like these moments, where stuff rises to the surface. Maybe it's the way we acted in the past, or we handled the past, or somebody else handled the past. I see like replaying a story to release it. I don't know if some of you have been through, as I say that, splits. This card fell out as I was talking. Three of Swords. This is talking about a heartache, heartbreak. Sometimes this is third-party situations, so somebody that is unfaithful. Which is unfortunate. And if this has been you, I want to say forgive yourself, but move forward. I want to look, kind of in the opposite direction than reflecting. Because I feel like there has been a significant amount of time done to reflect. So, as I say that, the bottom of the deck, there has been a significant amount of time pointing at this energy, sitting in this energy. It's almost like marinating in it. I mean, the Four of Pentacles is somebody that has, it's essentially, if you think of this chakra systems, there's a big coin on the top of their head that's blocking their connection to the divinity. There's a big blockage over their heart. And essentially they have a foot in both worlds, the past and the present. So I feel, 4 also is a very comfortable number. We stay here for a while and think about things. So that if this is you, I'm being brought to say this is necessary. You're where you need to be to release, to heal, to ultimately go where you want to go, to manifest what you want to manifest. But that message just wanted to come out. So let's actually get into your reading. Let's see, what is the central energy for Scorpio? I feel like I want to say speaking. So if you have something to say to somebody, or you want to get something off of your chest, you can either, I almost want to say, write it down, throw it in some fire. Fire is very transformative, or actually speak it to somebody. Words are very powerful, especially for you guys right now. I feel there's an emphasis on this because there's a tendency to hold back. So moving through this time, we just had that harvest moon. We're going into the equinox. I feel like it's a very beautiful time for transition. If we think of symbolically fall season, leaves die, to create an opening for the new, to create essentially rebirth, which is your card, which is death, right? This is kind of what you guys are good at. So essentially clearing the space for this rebirth spiritually. Okay, what is the central energy for Scorpio? What's the central energy for Scorpio for mid-September? What's the central energy? The Emperor. This can be an Aries. This can be a Capricorn. This can be you, actually. This is talking about, I'm being brought to the more masculine energy. So I'm, like a go-getter. If you're a business owner, I feel like really focusing all of your energy into this. So there's I feel like goals. We're throwing ourselves into something. I'm curious what the cards are surrounding this energy. But essentially, this is the boss. This is the entrepreneur. This is somebody that makes decisions. They have the skill to make decisions that are best for everybody. So they have this kind of higher perspective about things. So you can be embodying this. It's not necessarily your card, although it can be. What's helping or hindering the Emperor? This can be somebody in your life, a boss-like figure. Typically, this is a higher up. This can also be a grandfather. I feel masculine energy, though, essentially, is what it's talking about. And I feel like it's within you, and there's an emphasis on this. Two of Swords, helping or hindering your situation. I mean, this is talking about a fork in the road. We're at an impasse in our life. I feel, again, heavy reflection over what has happened, what has come to pass. But, you know, if you look at this card a little closer, this person has their arms crossed. I mean, essentially, that's a defensive stance. If you were just looking at the posture, I mean, this is, it's saying don't enter this area right now, especially the heart space. And it's talking about also kind of being at this, again, fork in the road. And we've gotten to this place where we have done enough thinking, we've done enough analysis of the situation of the past, and essentially this person has symbolically cut off their head because it's the need to listen to the heart, and it's crowned by this moon, which is talking about illusions, you know, and odd. I don't want to say our mind. Well, let me just leave it at that. I'll come back to the moon. I feel like, I mean, if we were to really reflect about the past, there's an energy of somebody not being authentic to their heart. There were signs, there were warnings, there were opportunities, either on your side or the side of, you know, of the other side of a situation. I don't know if this is a person or an actual situation, but there was something here to teach, essentially. That was the purpose of it. Not to kind of get us to go backwards. It was to teach, to get us to go forward. So it's almost like that Buddhist philosophy, right? What is this here to teach me? Why did that happen? Why did I act like that? Or why did they act like that? Or why did this happen? Ooh. The Eight of Pentacles. So this is in your subconscious. I feel like this is a bit of avoidance. Doesn't have to be. But in the place of subconscious, this is talking about, I mean, essentially this is the apprenticeship card, but this is a person who is heavily throwing themselves into their work. It's almost, sometimes this can be an avoidance of the feelings. So let me redirect my energy. Let me go into this emperor mode, this business person. Let me focus on my work. Let me progress here. Let me take control of what I can take control of, essentially, because in the past, feeling powerless. I mean, this is a card of, you know, feeling powerless, not knowing which way to go. And, you know, when we feel powerless, where our power comes from, it's the heart. So there's a disconnect there. So focusing on this area, Scorpio. What is in the past for Scorpio? What is in the past? This card wants to fall out, yeah. So it's telling me a situation that was fine, but it was the Eight of Cups. It wasn't your Ten of Cups. There was something missing. I feel like something vital missing. Something so much so that we're willing to walk away from it, even though it was, I feel like, comfortable. Or maybe this is how you're feeling now, because this isn't going to resonate for all of the Scorpios the same. So if you feel yourself tending to avoid a situation in matters of the heart and you're throwing yourself into something totally different, work, another distraction, essentially, it's forcing you to kind of lean into this uncomfortable energy of the Eight of Pentacles. You know, this difficult realization of this is great, but I want more, I need more. And this man, he's going down this path in search of it, leaving behind, something that's pretty good. It's the 8. He's walking down this unlit path of the moon. Again, here we have the moon. A lot of murky energy, not being clear. Moon represents illusions, secrets, false reflected light of the sun, right? What's the current energy for Scorpio? What's the current energy for Scorpio? The Queen of Cups. So this is somebody that is highly reflective about what they want to bring in. This is almost like law of attraction type card that, putting a heavy focus on what is in this cup. So this cup is the Holy Grail of love in the tarot. It's the Ace of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, her genius is to think from the heart, to make decisions from the heart, to dive deep, to get into this space, this uncomfortable space of the heart sometimes, and listen. What is it saying? How does it feel? This is what you guys are. This is your card. I feel like why the need to kind of distract ourselves and maybe put a lot of emphasis on work or something that we can control, because there's a heavy emphasis on needing to resolve what it is we're because essentially this is talking about bringing forth something new, I feel. And with that, we have to let go of the old. Lots of reflective energy here. Thinking. What's in the near future for Scorpio? What's in the near future for Scorpio? The Tower. I was talking about that season of death. Fall season, everything kind of turns a beautiful color. Thank you for once serving me, but now it's time to leave. I'm sweeping house. The Tower is essentially Uranus and Taurus, which is a very strongly affecting you. And it went into Taurus in March of this year. And it's talking about creating the changes that need to happen in regards to our work, our love life, the dynamics in our home. Strongly affecting you here, and it's saying any unstable foundations are kind of crumbling to the ground. This is major arcana, so it's not necessarily a choice. It just kind of happens, and it feels like it happens to us. Why did this happen to us? So there's a need to avoid playing the victim in the situation and kind of taking responsibility for your own karma. And to me, karma is the lessons we decided to come to learn, to kind of self-realize, who we are, what we want, what we need. Hence, this energy here again. The Tower. I feel like I want to say bring it on. I don't feel scared of this energy. It feels like a beautiful transformation into something better than, because that is the purpose of Uranus here. And I feel like if anybody does it, Scorpio does it the best. Like I would rather it be truth. I would rather it be completely real. Give it to me real. Make my life completely authentic. Anything else, sure, let's blow it up. Let's get rid of it. Ooh, maybe that's a wrong choice of words, but you know what I mean. This is essentially let me keep going. What's in the position of power for Scorpio mid-September? Too many cards. Well, there's one that tried to flip over. Let's see if it comes out again. I don't know if some of you were dealing with an earth sign, but that wanted to flip out with the Ace of Cups. So Cancer, excuse me, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I feel like some of you, I want to say speaking your truth, being very authentic. So if somebody's trying to contact you, or you feel like you might need to contact somebody else for some reason, I mean, it feels like involved in this tricky situation. Maybe somebody left. If there needs to be a clearing of the air, I want to say do it from the heart. Thank you, I forgive you. It's like, what is it? I can't pronounce it. It's thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm forgetting one. I'm sorry. Did I say that? Thank you for teaching me lessons, albeit maybe they were hard ones. Or if you were the lesson teacher, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. These words are very transformative, being very authentic and awesome, authentic and honest. What's in the position of power for Scorpio? Moving on. It's saying, this is usually source, whatever you believe in, God. He's leading this, he's the oarsman of this boat, leading this woman, or, if you're male, it doesn't matter. It's typically talking about the more feminine aspects of us. She's hunched over, she feels hurt, this exudes feeling hurt. And, see these waters that we're moving away from, they're more turbulent, they're more difficult. And the swords represent the mind space, so moving on to a calmer place in our mind, and therefore our heart. This is in your power, so getting into this space. So if you feel at night, like I was mentioning earlier, like things kind of come to the surface and we're feeling anxious, or we don't want to feel those feelings, particularly of hurt, I want to invite you just to kind of lean into them, meditate on it, and say to whoever is attached to this, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I'm sorry. I forgive you. Because essentially whatever happened here, it was necessary. It was a necessary learning experience. And there was a necessary destruction of it. What's in the position of Scorpio's environment? What's in the position of Scorpio's environment? This is feeling defensive. This is holding back. So there's a level of non-expression, of not speaking exactly what is in your heart space. There's, this is holding things back. If people are trying to communicate, it's like, no thanks. But when you're truly healed, when you're truly healed, yes, there are boundaries, but it's like this can affect us. It doesn't bother us because we're coming from a place of forgiveness, or. So I want to invite you to not be open to letting somebody back in not necessarily the same capacity, but opening your heart to express what needs to be expressed, to essentially clear something out. And you can do this through meditation. It doesn't necessarily need to be speaking, especially if you don't want to. Listen to yourself. This is just a general tarot reading. But when we are defensive, we're not open. And that's a detriment to yourself. What's in the cards keep falling out. So what card fell out as I was shuffling? It was the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about somebody that's unrest. at unrest, worrying, thinking about the past, worrying about the future. I feel like you're getting assistance here. I feel like things crumbled for a reason here. What's in the position of what Scorpio needs to know? Knight of Pentacles. I feel like I'm being brought to say 2020 for you. I'm being brought to kind of the future, and I know I don't like to project too far into the future, especially with tarot, because there's so much free will involved. But I feel with this card showing up, and especially the card in the past, this is what you need to know. I feel like there is something here better than, especially with the Tower there, clearing out something unnecessary, better than for you around the corner. Something very stable, something very solid, something I feel like you've been praying for. But I feel like, especially if this is a person you are bringing in or a person you are connecting with, this person had to learn some heavy lessons as well. Look, they're riding in on this dark black horse, and it represents, the difficult lessons in life. Very cautious. This is the slowest moving of all the knights, because they are very cautious, because they learn through experience. And they have something really real and stable to offer. I'm curious as to what that is. What is the outcome for Scorpio? What's the outcome for Scorpio? The Empress. This is a Taurus or a Libra. I mean, on top of a Knight of Pentacles, I mean, this can talk about, you could be attracting this into your life, especially if, you're attracting a Taurus. This is, kind of on the opposite end of, opposite side of the astrological wheel for you guys. So typically they are very similar, but very different. It's interesting, you have the Emperor and the Empress showing up. I mean, this is, clearing space right in the middle between these two people is the Tower. It's actually benefiting them. So it's this soulmate union kind of wanting to come to fruition. And the challenge now is to open your heart space after a difficult period, after a Tower experience, after an Eight of Cups experience. This is hard to walk away from, because it's just enough to kind of get us to stay. It's just enough emotionally fulfilling until we come into this place of self-realization where, oh yeah, but I deserve the 10. I want the 10. This tarot goes through stages, right? 1 through 10. Clarify this Empress. Who is this Empress? I mean, the Empress to me and the Emperor, this is, it can be talking about kind of like a soul retrieval process of your own, kind of bringing any fractured parts of yourself back to you into your power. Because my history is in shamanism, we believe that at traumatic events in our lives, we can lose a piece of our essence, essentially. And this is kind of remembering and bringing it back. Remembering who we are, remembering, that all these lessons were essentially actually here to teach us and to make our foundation real and solid, which is all we could ever really ask for, right? An authentic, true, honest existence. Oof, big energy here for you guys. I mean, this feels really in line with the equinox, this shift into this season. But this year in particular has just felt so significant. Yeah, it's clarified. The King of Swords. I was asking to clarify the Queen, the Empress. So this is particularly a person. If there has been a feeling of holding back, I want to invite you to express yourself. Because the King of Swords, he's holding kind of this sword of truth, and in the background, he has these butterflies on his throne. I mean, essentially saying your truth, your honesty, your communication will bring, significant transformation into your life. Oof. I like the energy. I mean, I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, and I love when I see the tower, most people are like, no thanks, and, let's pull some other cards, let's get another spread. But when I see it, I'm like, thank goodness, I knew something was off, or I knew that wasn't right. And I feel like because you guys are water, you guys are incredibly intuitive. There was something about whatever happened that was essentially built on a storyline. Maybe two people coming together to, again, learn karmic relationships, learn about our patterning, learn about our connection, and essentially being a mirror to what we have to work on. So, how we move forward, this is up to you. This is just such a general reading. This is meant to, kind of give you power back into your hands. So identifying whatever this is and letting it go, letting it run its course. Thank you for revealing this truth. I had these rose-colored glasses on, and now I see. What additional messages, would be helpful for Scorpio to hear? What additional messages would be helpful? These cards are really big for my hands, and I'm not a little girl. I'm like 5'10". My hands can't hold these. All right, one card, please. What must be shall be. Linya. Whoa. Look at it, talking about the moon cycles again, right? Just got through that harvest moon. It's very potent next to this equinox. Pisces. Sorry, that's the moon in Pisces. It's bringing up a lot, the deep subconscious of authenticity. This is talking about death and rebirth. I'm already seeing it with the skull. I'm curious what this card has to say. It says, you have beautiful dreams and inspired, bold ambitions. You are guided to believe that they are natural expressions of your soul, something that is meant to be. Life will support you in the expression of those dreams and ambitions, even in the moments where it seems to be a struggle rather than support that you are experiencing. The progress for transformation into full maturity involves learning to grow through light and through the darkness, and back to the light again. You must always find your way back to the light. Have faith in yourself and what must be. Dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation. So this is a card that's not necessarily negative. It's not necessarily avoidance, but it's saying there's space here for you to move forward with what you're creating. This is nice. In a reading it says, if you're experiencing loss or change, have faith. Sometimes things happen that seem to be working against us. It is only later that they show themselves to have been valuable ways by which we acquire the greater faith, courage, and determination that were necessary to the fulfillment of our purpose. Know that your destiny is unfolding and that you're moving through circumstances that are ultimately going to help you become your soul in fullness and splendor. Keep going. Everything happening in your life is helping you fulfill your divine potential. Know that any darkness will give way to the light. Let's keep going. Sorry, I know this is getting long, but this is the end if you're kind of over this card, but I want to go a little further. Spiritual guidance, it says, just as life and death are natural, so too is growth. It's natural for the caterpillar to become the butterfly. It's extraordinary to the point of being almost unbelievable if we were really to think about it, but natural nonetheless. It is natural for the bones of the sacred cow to return to the earth and to give her minerals, which, in turn, supports new life. So it is meant to be that with human life there is loss that becomes part of what allows for something new to be vitalized. You are here to grow into all that you are. You are here to bring certain dreams to life into this world. They are meant to be healing dreams for a new world because that is your nature, your innate soul way. Just like the seemingly impossible journey of the butterfly with sacred endings that support new beginnings, you too are moving through the cycle of life. Sometimes this can be confronting, to give up old ways or old identities, It can seem frightening to the mind, yet it is inspiring and exciting for the soul that yearns to blossom into fullness and cannot thrive when it's held back in fear. You may forget this momentarily and turn back from where you are headed out of confusion or concern. It may seem as though you're being asked to give up too much to secure your goals, or you may wonder if it's foolish imagination rather than genuine soul purpose that is driving you forward. If you are a visionary with ideas that are not yet widely understood, but will help push humanity towards the new world, you may struggle more than most. In this case, you are asked to take leaps of faith and endure the endings inherent in evolution whilst waiting for the signs of new life. You will have this asked of you because it's necessary for the process of creation, and most importantly, for you to have enough faith in your soul to handle it. To have faith in your own purpose when it may sometimes feel like you are fighting a losing battle takes a lot of heart. Great Spirit knows what you are up to, and it wants to remind you that you are not being foolish. You are following your destiny. Great Spirit wants you to accept it, accept that it can help you, that what you are pursuing is meant to be. And as you keep to your course, success will come. Allow the inner forces that compels you forward to have its way. Do not fear the sometimes radical changes that take place as you evolve to your destiny. Any losses or endings along the way are essential for your fulfillment. Let your trust in life's goodwill and generous support of be your unconditional. Know you shall thrive. Says the healing process. I call upon the wild grace of the sacred feminine and give gratitude for your wise and loving assistance in my life. I accept your blessing to fulfill myself. I trust that you will show me the signs and impress upon me the guidance that I need so as to feel reassured, focused, and committed. Help me and all beings fulfill the plan of the Great Spirit intends for us and has placed in our hearts. Only the goodness of your wisdom prevails, and every darkness leads me to a greater light again. So be it. Whew. If that isn't the most Scorpio reading I've ever done, that was really beautiful. Your challenge is just to be authentic to yourself, how you feel, where you're going, what you need to do at this moment in time, who you need to speak your truth to, and manifest. You have the Queen of Cups and the Empress kind of crowning this reading. Very spiritual cards. Very much talking about bringing in abundance. This is really nice. I'm being brought to again next year where we're seeing a lot of, well, I don't want to place kind of, joy in the future, but I feel like we see a lot of tangible changes. A lot of this year is laying the foundation for what's to come. So your foundation gets more firm and more stable as we release the things. And we have these aha moments. Okay, yeah, actually that wasn't best for me. Or I wasn't operating in my highest integrity or in my highest truth, or I wasn't thinking from my heart, I was thinking from lack. And it revealed itself. So thank you for leaving. Thank you for teaching, though, more importantly. All right, I'm rambling. It was a pleasure reading for you, Scorpio. If you guys want a reading from me, I will leave my information below. I think I'm a little bit booked out. I don't take a lot of readings each day just because it's quite taxing on me and even my body. Yeah, if you want a reading, I suggest planning in advance, and you can always just send me an email if it's too far in advance, closer to the date, about what you want me to answer. So, thanks, Scorpio. Oh, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'd really appreciate it. Bye, guys.